In this video, we got another episode of this series where I do rate and improve your guys' teams. You guys will send me your teams over on Twitter at xevantanaka. I usually put out a tweet every 3 to 4 days asking for your guys' squads. You guys will reply to that tweet with your team, how much MT you guys have, and then I'll pick about 6 squads for each episode, give you guys my best suggestions to help improve your guys' team. But if you guys also want to comment your team down below under the YouTube video, let me know your guys' squad, how much MT you guys have, and I'll try to give as many people suggestions as possible. But looking at the first team here of the episode, of the video I should say, is going to be from Light Core Jet, I believe is how you pronounce that. 430,000 MT currently. He just picked up Pink Diamond Wemby for 160k badged, and he plays the game offline and plays Triple Threat Park with friends. He wants to have a fun team, shot creators that get their own buckets, and he was thinking of picking up Pink Diamond Beasley, and he's also getting the Pro Pass Tim Duncan, so he doesn't really need a power forward option. If you're just looking to mainly play offline in Triple Threat Park and you just want to have cards that are fun to use offensively, I definitely think Pink Diamond Michael Beasley is for sure the upgrade that you need 100% to get. You got 430k, that's quite a bit of MT to work with, so I would definitely get Pink Diamond Beasley. Other than that, for cards that are really good offensively, I'm trying to think of who you could act, because like there's some upgrades I'd make to your team to actually just improve the squad, but I'm trying to think of cards that are just really good offensively, like maybe a Dark Matter Zach LaVine at point guard could be really fun to use. He's a great offensive card that can score the ball. Maybe a Manu Ginobili could be fun as well. AC Law, if you did get him, is really good from the Bracket Busters Festival. I think he's actually a very fun point guard to use, but I think for this squad, just definitely get Pink Diamond Beasley for like the backup small forward position. If you just want a suggestion to maybe make the team a little bit better, I think you could go for like a Tyler Hansbrough. He's a fun card to use, or like maybe a Jonathan Bender's pretty fun as well because he's 7 foot with a quick jump shot. But yes, I do think Pink Diamond Beasley would definitely be a huge upgrade, you know, for your team, and also just make, you know, make the game a lot more fun. He's definitely a really fun card to use. And if you want maybe a center that's fun, or maybe a power forward over Anthony Davis, I think Eddie Curry is really fun to use because he's got a quick jump shot. He's good offensively while also being a good defensive card, so you could go maybe Eddie Curry as well for your backup power forward position. For the next squad here, guys, coming in from Shay, he says he has 224,000 MT in the auction outcomes waiting to be redeemed, and he's asking who he should buy. So 200k we'll say around. This is a good team, a solid squad. I think for the upgrades you can make, definitely at the point guard position, I think you probably just go out and you get a Dyson Daniels, you get an Anthony Morrow, you get a Caruso, right? Those type of point guards, maybe a Malcolm Brogdon, to try to give you guys as many suggestions as possible for obviously each team. For me personally, I would go get Dyson Daniels as starting point guard, and I would go get Anthony Morrow as my backup point guard. That costs you maybe 35k around. And then for shooting guards, I'm not a huge fan of J-Dub, but if you want to use him because you grinded for him and you know you did all that grinding to get him, you can keep him at the shooting guard position. I like Brandon Roy as well. I think your small forwards, you know, Giannis and LeBron still can be very good, and they're fun cards to use because they're Giannis and LeBron. I'm sure you're a fan of one of them, or you just like playing with them in 2K. So if you want to run that, you can, or you can go get a Pink Diamond Michael Beasley. You can go get a Carlos Boozer, a Jonathan Bender, a Tyler Hansbrough, right? Those type of small forwards. I do think this team could definitely use Galaxy Dino Raja, whether it's at the starting center position, whether it's at the backup center position, and also getting a card like Pink Diamond Eddie Curry. You know, Pink Diamond Kristaps could also be, you know, another really good suggestion for center. Maybe you go get a Galaxy Hassan Whiteside. There's a lot of different center cards you can go after, but I'm not a huge fan of Wilson D-Rob, so those would be my suggestions for your squad. Looking at the next team is coming in from Charles, because I pronounce his name. He's got 150,000 MT. He's wondering who he should buy to help improve his team, and this is another decent squad. With 150k, there's not like 1,000 things you can do, but I think there's some upgrades you can definitely make. I'm looking at the small forward position. I know I've kind of been upgrading a lot of people's small forwards. It just happened to be like I'm not a huge fan of these people's small forwards. I do think Grant Hill is okay, more so at shooting guard, and Jason Tatum I'm just not a big fan of. So again, Pink Diamond Michael Beasley, a huge upgrade. If you want to go get a Pink Diamond Jonathan Bender, a Galaxy Carlos Boozer, a Galaxy Tyler Hansbrough, I think those are like the easy suggestions you can make. Pick 2 of those as your 2 small forwards. I like your centers, I like your power forwards, I like your shooting guards, and honestly, I like your point guards as well. If you wanted to get like a Pink Diamond Dyson Daniels over a John Wall, I think that potentially could help your bench, or maybe use him over LaMelo Ball. I do think he's a better card than both of those options, but if you like using LaMelo, you like using John Wall, I think the only position you really need to upgrade is your small forward position. Looking at the next team here, coming in from Blank, he says he's got 1 million MT, wondering how his squad is looking. Currently at 135 wins in Showdown Tier number 1. So bro is a sweat, bro is grinding in them Showdown streets. And talk about your team, I mean, this is obviously a ridiculous squad. I think for you, go ahead and buy that Dark Matter Michael Beasley. He's like 500,000 MT, at least on Xbox. I don't know if you're on PlayStation or Xbox, but on Xbox, he's like 500k, and he can either start for you at small forward or he can come off the bench. Probably come off the bench next to Magic and Brandon Roy. I do think he's a lot better than Adam Morrison, and I think honestly that's like the only suggestion that you need for your squad. Looking at the next team here, coming in from is that Beast 2K? Yeah, I guess Beast 2K. He says he got 30,000 MT to work with and needs some help. So 30k is not much to work with, but I'll try to give you my best like really cheap budget options. I think Dyson Daniels is really good. Dr. J Beasley, I like this starting three. Not a huge fan of Kareem. What I would do personally is, you can't sell Kareem, but get rid of Kareem, move Moses Malone to your power forward position, and just get like a pink diamond Eddie Curry as your starting center. He costs like 10,000 MT at the most, and then I would say you have a very competent starting lineup. Off the bench, you can keep the Jamal Crawford and DeAndre Jordan duo. If you wanted to go for like, you know, you could potentially, you know, upgrade that to maybe an Anthony Morrow, maybe get a different center card. But if you want to keep it the same, I think that's perfectly fine. I think you would just need a backup power forward and just get like a pink diamond Kalel Ware. I think those are like two cheap upgrades that would definitely help out your squad. Getting pink diamond Eddie Curry and also getting pink diamond Kalel Ware for your starting center and backup power forward position. But make sure to slide Moses Malone over to your power forward position starting. Your team would be like Dyson, Jamal, Dr. J, Brandon Roy, Beasley, LeBron, Moses, Kalel Ware, and then Eddie Curry and DeAndre Jordan. But looking at the last team here of the video is going to be sent in by Xavier, I assume. No money spent. He doesn't know who else to get from the exchange. So I don't know how many pieces you have for the exchange, but you see you have Andrew Wiggins, and I think that's the only card you have from the Signature Series Festival, at least from that exchange. So it depends how many pieces you can get. But with this type of team, if you can get a Jason Kidd, if you can get a Marc Gasol, one of those two options, or even like a Nick Young, 100% go out and try to get that card. I would say if you can, try to get Jason Kidd. I think he could be easily your starting point guard. And then off the bench, have a pink diamond Dyson Daniels. Then you could have like Corey Brewer and Andrew Wiggins as your two shooting guards. I think that works out perfectly. So your point guards could be Kidd and Dyson Daniels. Let's just say Corey Brewer and Andrew Wiggins. And then for small forward, if you want to keep Jared Wallace, you can have him off the bench. But then for your starting small forward, definitely go ahead and buy pink diamond Beasley. You have 350k, you can definitely afford that. Maybe 30,000 MT for Dyson, 65k for Beasley. You're maybe spending 100,000 MT between those two cards. Now you have your 1 through 3 set. Your power forwards can be, I don't know if I would keep the Hassan Whiteside and Marlos Ramos duo. I'd probably just, you can't sell them, but I would just not use those cards. For power forward, I would go Corey Brewer and then backup power forward. You have a bit of MT to spend, so I think getting Galaxy Bodino would definitely be worth doing in my personal opinion as your backup power forward. And then for your two center positions, you should have a little bit MT left over. If you can get a pink diamond Wemby and a pink diamond Eddie Curry, that's what I would probably go for, is just try to get Wemby for this type of squad. You should have enough MT left over, but if you don't, just get like a pink diamond Eddie Curry and a pink diamond Kristaps, and then maybe try to save up for that pink diamond Wemby. But let me know in the comment section down below your guys' team, how much MT you guys have, and hopefully you guys found this video helpful and you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.